I just went for a swim and it was amazing, and I have a blocked ear, but it sounds like I have a blocked nose, but it's not a blocked nose. But if you think I sound nasally, that's why. I don't know why it happens every day. So I wanted to show you, that's a little bit about me. I wanted to show you what I was cooking for dinner, like I've been doing all this week, because I'm cooking just for me. My hat looks so big. I'm cooking just for me. Pierre's not here and he'll be back later. Usually when he goes away, or not goes away, but he's not home, I take it as my leave pass to eat whatever the hell I want. So if you cook for other people, you'll know sometimes that the most annoying thing is when you make something and then these people with opinions that you have to feed say annoying things, and they don't mean to be annoying, but the fact that they're just a different person to you with different taste buds means that they don't always love everything that you love, right? Or you have to actually be considerate of their taste buds as you're cooking things, and it can be quite annoying. So I use this opportunity of just cooking for me to eat whatever the frick I want. And it's usually something as simple as I might have crackers that I've made and a roasted veggie dip or a pesto dip or something like that, and I might fry up a few bits of goat's halloumi or some sheep's feta or something like that, chopped cucumber, just very simple, very plain, very basic, and that'll be about it. But I've decided tonight, I've been out and I thought I'd kind of get ahead on the cooking schedule, and I'm going to make a veggie one-pot biryani. So here's what we've got going on. 1.5 onions. It's not that dark in my kitchen, it's just very dark right here. 1.5 onions that have been sauteing down probably for about almost 8 minutes now. So there was about 2 tablespoons of oil, and also I've put in about a tablespoon of butter, just because we had butter to use up, so I thought I'd just use it. And next up, I need a little spice mix. So you could do curry paste. So if you had, say, a korma curry paste in a jar or something like that, you could use that. I have this fancy, can you see that? It's backwards, korma curry spice mix that I wanted to give a try. So I normally have the herby spices, and just from general Lunch Lady Lou catering, I still have so many spices on hand. So I have, like, you know, by the kilo kind of thing, black mustard seeds and cardamom seeds and that type of thing. But I'm always interested in trying these packets of blended spice mixes because well, they're amazing and they're done for you, so you don't need to do it yourself. Although you could go, you know, plastic, kind of an issue. You could look at the back of one of these packs, go to the bulk food store and just make up your own little mix. And you kind of, whatever it is, you do say, I don't know, 2 tablespoons of each spice. It's probably going to work out in the long run. Mix it all up and then just chuck a little bit in. That's my kind of, you know, not lazy, but stress less vibe, like laid back vibe of doing things. But I always like to give these a go because I think they're really good. So I have spice mix to use, and I also have some black mustard seeds, which I'm going to put in, which are just the bit of flavor in, I think, an Indian dish that you don't really know that it's there, but it's so there. And once you realize that it's mustard seeds, you kind of want more of them. And then I'm also going to put in a little bit of saffron. So they're my spices. And I have basmati rice. And I'm going to pop in a few lentils as well. But so while these onions are doing their thing, I'm going to give them a quick stir. And then I just want to chop up a heap of veggies. So whatever you've got going in your fridge is going to be fine to use. And I have some garlic. I might smush the garlic up now and get that ready. So I have here for veggies in my fridge 1 carrot, 1 zucchini, like nothing fancy, some sweet potato and some red capsicum, and that's it. And I'm trying to just eat down the veggie drawer, and my thoughts are, once this is cooked, I'll just fry up a really quick egg and put it on top, or maybe I'll just top it with some sheep's yogurt or something like that. I'll see how I feel. I'm actually not totally hungry, which is funny that I'm going to all this effort, but it's actually just a whip everything up, put it in the pan, put it in the oven, and then it's out of the way. I don't need to worry about anything else, and I can do the things that I want to do, which I really want to clean the bathroom, if I'm honest. The bathroom's driving me mental. So, wild night ahead. So, I've chopped my garlic. I'm going to push that to the side. Oh, and I didn't mention, I just have a few cardamom seeds too, just for good luck. So, the way I work with veggies to get, if your eyes are bigger than your belly, or you don't know how many to put in, if you don't know how many to put in a dish, for a dish like this, or a soup, or a curry or something like that, I normally go off 2 cups of diced veggies. So, leeway with, like chunks going in there and stuff. If it looks like it's not actually 2 cups, then I'll leave that up to you to decide. But this is a 500 ml bowl. So, now we just roughly chop. Any way you want. And I don't ever take the skin off my sweet potato. Some people do. I just give it a wash and then it's kind of ready to go. All the goodness is under the skin. And you don't need to be perfect. If you've watched any of my videos with my chopping, you know I'm just more interested in chopping it up and getting it done so it can get on to cook than having uniformed diced bits. So that can all go in. And then I'm going to do a whole zucchini. So I just chop that in half lengthways. You could be fancy, you could do long chunks or short chunks, whatever you want. You could even make it smaller than that. And I'll put that in. You know what, that's kind of already the 2 cups. I'll just keep going. I find if I don't measure things, I'll end up putting ingredient after ingredient, and I'll find something else and I'll be excited for it, and then next thing I know I have this overrun veggie dish, or just overrun with ingredients, which isn't always a bad thing, but it's all, balance is good. So again, just throwing it in. So this is an oven baked biryani, so put your oven on 180. I forgot to mention that before. I just have a small carrot. And there are many ways to cook a biryani. There's lots done on the stove, and it's there's usually chicken involved, and the chicken's coated in yogurt, which is a very, Indian thing to do. And then it's layered with the rice, and the rice is already cooked. But, for that you need kind of lots of elements done, especially the rice. And I don't have that, so I'm just going to throw everything in the pot, and then it will be left to cook by itself in the oven while I clean the bathroom. So, here's what's going on. How do I turn you around? So these are just really sauteing down. And now I'm going to add a tablespoon of these mustard seeds. there are yellow mustard seeds and there are these black mustard seeds too. So these, I'll just give them a stir. And after about a minute, they'll kind of start popping. Okay, I need to pick up the garlic. Let's see how I go with this. Garlic and also the cardamom going in. And everything will start to smell. Smells amazing already. And next thing is I'm just going to do 2 tablespoons of this korma, like curry korma, and it's mild. 2 tablespoons. Quite heaped ones. You could even just use a curry paste or something like that. And then next thing, pop you back over here. Hey Aaron, how you going? So I got this bunch of coriander, and usually I would chop it kind of off there and then kind of there, and then chuck this bit out. Just, you know, habit, chopping the ends off veggies and just throwing them in the bin. Kind of like I've got all these little bits over here. Although I freeze these bits, so I put them in a snap lock bag in the freezer. And over time, it doesn't take very long if you cook kind of every day or a few meals a day. Over time, you have offcuts made, like a whole bag of offcuts that you can then use to make chicken stock or that type of stuff. But with this, I'm going to chop just above this elastic bag, wash this well, and then chuck it in the pot just for extra flavor, because there's so much flavor within these roots. But they're a bit dirty, so I just kind of break them up, get the dirt out, and once the water hits them, they start to smell so good. Coriander will just fill the air. And then you can chop them up or leave them whole or do whatever you want to do. And then throw them in as well. So this is optional, right? In the recipe, I'll put a recipe up. I'm just kind of making this up as I go. But, you know, there's always base recipe and then things that are actually essential for flavor. Okay, so here's what's going on now. So, mixing in this curry paste, mixing in our little coriander root. It smells amazing. And then next up, I'm going to put in, what am I going to put in? Okay, I'm going to put in the veggies. So we have about 2 cups here, they can go in. Next I'm going to put in 1 cup of basmati rice. So you can soak or rinse your basmati rice before, but I'm not doing that this time. And then mix that all around. So everything gets coated in delicious, spicy flavor, oniony, buttery, garlicky goodness. And then, so the normal ratio for cooking a basmati rice is 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of water. So I need to add 1.5 cups of water. But I also want to add a few tablespoons of lentils. So I'm going to also add some coconut cream to this just to make up the liquid ratio difference. And normally I'd soak these first, like I do with the rice, but I haven't done that, so sue me. And then next up, I have here some tomato paste, so I'm going to add 2 tablespoons in. And I was planning on adding tomatoes, but I've kind of forgotten to do that. And it looks big enough. I'm not going to add them. Okay, so we'll give that a stir. Mix everything in. 1.5 cups of water and some coconut cream. One other thing that you could do, which I always recommend, just if you want a real flavorful dish, is to invest in some stock paste, dried stock. So I have this one, I don't know if you can see that. This is from the brand San Elk, and this is a low FODMAP one, so it doesn't have onions or garlic. I mean, I've already got onions and garlic in here already, but it's just like, you know, stock, dried stock. So it will add extra flavor, salt. This one's packed full of veggies. It has carrot in there, turmeric, parsley, tomato, pepper, nutmeg. No veggies. I actually thought there were veggies in there. So it just has a whole heap of flavor, and it will just help add extra goodness to the dish. So I'm already off like a traditional biryani here, but that's fine. So what I love about cooking this kind of stuff, and really cooking in general, is once you get your head around spices and also how sauteed onion adds flavor to a meal, how little bits of veggies chopped small adds flavor to a meal, what effect this type of stock powder has on a meal, you know, how dried fresh herbs, you know, what flavor they add. Once you get going with that kind of stuff, you're off and away, and you can really take something like this that I've made this a few times before, but this particular recipe, I'm really just making it up as I go, and that's what I love about cooking. You don't need a recipe eventually, and it's not that hard to get from not knowing what you're doing to opening the fridge and being able to cook. It just requires you to enter the kitchen with the mindset of, I can't stuff this up because I know what flavor is and I know how to inject flavor into a meal. If it's looking a bit dodgy, I can do X, Y, Z, and you have a list of shortcuts to kind of help you get there. So next up, I have some saffron, and I've never used ground saffron like this. This is from I want to say Dubai. My parents got this for me. So I'm just going to put some in. So saffron's kind of a traditional thing to add to the biryani, and it flavors it, like colors it a beautiful red, but I already have a lot of color going on in here, so we're not going to see it too much, but it'll add its own little flavor. So next up, I've been saying this for a while, 1.5 cups of water. Oops. Put that in. If it's a bit over, it doesn't totally matter. I have a tiny bit left, so I'm going to put that in too. then next up, I'm just going to bring this to a boil. I'm going to add coconut cream. And I said I was going to add a few tablespoons, but I've changed my mind already. I'm going to add a bit more. Because it just looks like, let me show you. Oh, this light. Okay, hold on. I'm going to move it. It looks amazing. It's very deep in color. But it just looks to me like it wants some coconut cream. So, this in theory is about, I reckon you could whip this up and get it into the oven in 15 minutes. Because I'm talking and kind of making it up as I go, it's taking a bit longer, but that's fine. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 5. 4, 5 kind of dessert-ish spoons of coconut cream. 6. Okay, beautiful. So, this is what it looks like. Now with that brightness, beautiful. Next up, we need a lid, and then it goes in the oven, and it should, on 180 in the oven, will cook in about 45 minutes, I think. How's this for just, I'm not sure how long it will take. Okay, lid on, 45 minutes, and the rice will be done, and then we can assess it from here. So it's gonna go in my oven, and I'll close my oven for the second. In the oven, 45 minutes. Check it from there. If it needs longer, it needs longer. If it needs a bit more water or coconut cream, you can add it, and all of the flavor will still be there. And I'll show you what it looks like later on. Okay, have a wonderful evening. Okay, how excited am I? The biryani is done. I did not clean the bathroom. I haven't really even made it out of the kitchen. I washed up and, you know, best laid plans didn't happen. I took my hat off though, so give me some credit for that. So here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. So that's coconut cream that I didn't quite mix in, but that's fine. But wow, this is beautiful. All you'd need to do is put that on the table and it's ready to serve. So if I just, you can see all the liquid is gone, but the rice is a nice amount of moist. I can tell it's cooked. You could taste it. You can, the oven is going off. So I'm going to just put a dollop of that with maybe with some lime. So like creamy yogurt, fresh coriander, and then a good hit of lime. Also things that I have just from this week. I have some leftover pickled cucumbers and onions. They would be great on there. I have some leftover coconut yogurt that I could put in there. I also have a heap of pickles. So let me turn it around so you can see. Up here, I keep all of my Flavor Town ingredients. So coconut yogurt, pickles, that's leftover stock gravy actually. This was a dressing that I could also put on there. It's like, What was the gingery soba green, so it would go quite well. So everything up here I try and keep so I can just add easy flavor to my meals at all times. Not onions, olives. I have cashew cheese up the back. There's Pierre's hot sauce. There's more pickles. So that's kind of it. And then the rest is fruit and veg and things that I've chopped up and prepped. So that's the veggie biryani done. Really 15 minutes. You could add chicken if you wanted to. I'm going to add a fried egg with the coriander, with some lime. Yeah, really one pot meal in the oven and it just cooks for you. I don't know, does it get any better than that? Do you like that recipe? Let me know. I love a little one pot wonder. I make them more in winter, but I really feel at the moment like I need that type of grounding food, which is a bit weird because it's so hot. I think that's it. That's it. If you want more recipes, head to my website and get my free ebook, Get Your Shit Together, which has 8 of my favorite recipes that I use to personally keep my shit together. And by shit together, I mean just meaning that I'm fed and taken care of, even with a busy life and a business and doing all the things that I want to do. So I think that's the end. What else do I want to say? Kitchen Sorcery cart is open. You can sign up. We start on the 1st of Feb, but you have until tomorrow to get the pay in full bonus, which is $200 off the price. I have to remember now. A cheese making at home masterclass, which is so simple. Once you realize what's going on with that, you'll be fermenting at home masterclass. You get a 7-day autopilot meal plan that features recipes like this, just simple stuff. And you get access to the live classes, which have already begun. I'm doing 4 classes before, and there'll also be classes after Kitchen Sorcery to kind of get you in the flow of cooking and comfy in your kitchen, and then also keep you there post-course. So I'll put a link to that below, but Kitchen Sorcery is live, where we just cook. I know you know how to cook, but this is about honing your cooking skills, learning to use flavor, and learning to have the confidence to get in the kitchen and make things like a veggie biryani without a recipe, but from just kind of knowing what goes in it and the ratio of a rice, how to cook rice, and having some flavor tips, which all of that is within your pantry anyway. And it's kind of opening your mind up to the sneaky ways to use flavor and the ingredients that are already hiding within your pantry that you just overlook. Most people overlook because they don't know what to do with them. So that's Kitchen Sorcery. There's more on it too, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna eat my biryani, and this recipe will be live soon. So have a wonderful evening.